general consensus. I don't think there's ever been a perfect point in human history. If you do talk to people of my parents' generation and my grandparents, there is a sort of consensus formed that whilst nothing was perfect, there was a period in modern times where things are about as good as they ever have been for humanity. And my grandparents agree on this, and their friends and my parents. It was a period just after the war, just after sort of austerity was ending, from about 1955 through to about 1972. It was about as good as it ever got. Fucking brilliant. It all stops just before I was born. Fucking marvellous. I'll tell you the only thing that's going to end capitalism, the only thing that's going to end capitalism, the end of the world, or as it's otherwise known, climate change. But we're not doing anything about climate change. We're not doing anything about climate change. Why? Because we can't get our heads around it. Because it's not scary enough. Every time we get climate change on the news, we get the news and go, and now we've got an academic with a spreadsheet to tell us about climate change. What's happening? Well, if you look at, even he looks depressed, but if you look at this graph, we can see that a bit more snow has melted than we thought would have. Fucking hell, scary stuff, isn't it? I tell you what they should do to make climate change more scary. If you want to crank it up and make climate change more scary, what they should do, the newsreaders should do a deal with the people who run the national grid, and they should say, just before the climate change bit comes on the news, what we want you to do, flick a switch, turn the electricity off. And the newsreader, if you're sitting there in your house, the newsreader would say, and now climate change news, it has to be plunged into darkness. You fucking check yourself. And the newsreader would get like a little torch under their chin. It's time for the news about climate. And if you want to crank it up at home, tie a little bit of string to one of your lampshades and swing it about like a fucking poltergeist. And get the wife to put on a Frankenstein mask. It's time for the news about climate change, which is your fault, because you left your mobile phone on when you didn't need to at the start of the gig, therefore burning more power than was actually necessary. Climate change is going to kill us all. But I tell you what's really scary about climate change, ladies and gentlemen. Seeing as the national grid have cut off the electricity, how is your TV still working? There we go. So it's in the news today, 7 billion people, fucking brilliant, 7 billion people. And I mean, if the population keeps expanding at this rate, it's a terrifying consequence. How are we going to house all these people? How are we going to feed them? And most chilling of all, how much harder is it going to get to find a parking space at IKEA? But there is a silver lining. The more people that are born, these extra hundreds of millions of billions of people that are born, does statistically increase the probability that one of them might one day go on to write the first ever genuinely funny primetime sitcom on BBC One. We can only live in hope. So that's about it for me. Normally you don't get to know how these gigs have gone, but we're going to do a little bit of feedback. You've done okay. You really have. You've done okay. I didn't have high hopes, but you've done all right. You haven't paid to get in. I thought, they'll be rubbish. Well, I'm not going to bother. They'll just be rubbish. I'm going to stay home. You've done okay. You've done all right. And it's brave to do what you're doing, sitting down there. I haven't got the guts to do it. I fucking could never do that. I look at you, oh God, I couldn't do it. Fair play to them, sitting there in a drunken, passive stupor, expecting clever, intelligent people to spoon-feed you entertainment. Fucking, yeah, good for you. And keep practicing. Yeah, keep practicing, yeah. Develop your skills. Keep coming back. Have a try. Think about what worked. Not everything you've done has worked. I think you probably know that. But go back and work on it. Work on your skills, and within a couple of months, you might be in a position to find me a lot funnier than you clearly have tonight. There we go. Thanks very much, everyone. It's been great. I'm Eddie Brown. Cheers.